Hello, everyone. Welcome to a traditional core set 2021 draft. I am a little bit smiley and happy right now because I just found out that the Seattle has named their NHL expansion franchise the Krakens. It's only the best sports team name a Magic player has ever had, right? People are saying the jerseys are cool too. I haven't seen any of that. I basically got on air as soon as it was announced, so. I haven't seen any of the stuff yet, but I don't even. Hockey is one of those sports. I'm a sports fan. I'm not a hockey fan. I don't like watching hockey that much, but going to hockey games is great. I will go to Kraken games, I believe, because attending hockey games live is a lot of fun. And crucially, as I understand it, hockey has gotten their act together about fighting. I could not watch hockey through most of my adult life because of the complete lack of respect I had for a game that was like, yeah, sometimes the players just start punching each other and we all say, cool. And we just say, yeah, this is our game. It's necessary. We need to let players punch each other or else you can't protect your, like, oh my God, all these nonsense reasons that hockey fans and hockey would give for why in this otherwise interesting and well-designed game, they just let players drop gloves and start socking each other. It's like, we're going to do boxing now for about 5 minutes. Are you okay with that? And it's like, I was out. I was off it. I was completely off hockey for that. No respect. If you want to have a sport about punching each other, great. Go box. Go. There are sports that are about beating each other up. And if you're all in for that, that's fine. The idea of adding that to your team sport as an accepted thing was just never made sense to me. And they finally kind of legislated it out of the game, as I understand it. I think as grown-ups hat, I would like professional sports to model some appropriate behavior for their audience. I mean, like, part of it is like all these young hockey fans are like, yeah, fighting that's just what we do in life, and that's okay. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure it's not. I mean, there's fighting in baseball. There's fighting in football. There's fighting in every sport. The point is the penalties for that fighting should be real and should reflect our values as a society, that we don't think stopping the game you're playing to punch each other is a good thing, right? I mean, that it took hockey forever to decide to model that for society a little bit is crazy. No, I haven't heard the Radio Lab about Hockey Enforcer, but I'll listen, Oil Can. But if anybody is in there like trying to sell me on the idea that hockey needs enforcers, they're gonna get the eyes rolled to the way back of my head. Yeah, and that's dumb. But they get thrown out of the game. Like, if you do that, at least you get Snap thrown out of the game. My problem with hockey was it was like fight and you get a 2-minute penalty or whatever, right? All right, I'm way far away from drafting. I'm just happy about the Krakens. What this makes me want to do is start buying Kraken cards and turn them into new logos for the team or whatever. So I'm going to go to cardkingdom.com and start searching for Krakens and see what they've got on that front. Everybody in Seattle needs to snap up all the foil Krakens that have ever been printed in Magic. And I bet Card Kingdom has most of them. Their inventory is incredible. And I love to be there. I check there first. Whenever I'm looking for something, whenever I get a bug in my head like that, foil Magic Krakens, now that we have this NHL team or whatever, I'm going to obviously start with Card Kingdom and branch out. I've bought cards elsewhere or whatever, but certainly the majority of my Magic retail has been spent on cardkingdom.com because I am a real customer of theirs. I'm not just someone talking about them because they pay me. I do it because I am a legit customer and I can fully recommend their services to you. So check them out if you're in the market for stuff. They'll get you covered. And of course, as always, my affiliate link is the place to do it to help out this stream. If you buy stuff from Card Kingdom via my affiliate link, it is A+. Let's see what we got. We are best of 3. This takes a while to fill, so we can probably... Oh, it takes a while. It can take a while to fill, I should say, but bam, we got 5. Hey, Nutter, aloha. Aloha. Nutter is thankful for waking up to another day with breath and amazing streamer to visit. Mahalo. Thank you so much. What a great attitude. That's the type of attitude I try to have for myself. You all have seen me pretty darn salty, but you know, I try to remember how lucky I am even when I'm losing at Magic. Yeah, John asked, what about combat sports? And it's like, I think that's pretty... Thank you for the sub. My problem with any sport that consistently causes serious injury to the participants is that often those participants are indoctrinated into loving and revering that sport as children. So in effect, you've got kids making these decisions to destroy their bodies, and I don't love that. But humans are humans, and we are always going to be super interested in who can beat the crap out of somebody else better. Like, who would win if those two fought? Like, we're just always going to be like that. So it's never, all that stuff is never going away. But I really wish that you had to be, that you couldn't even fall in love with it until you were at least 18, you know? Yeah. All right, Volcanic Salvo is pretty good. Got a couple of good red cards here. Soul Seer is just an excellent, simple deal 5 for 3 at instant. Maybe Soul Seer's simplicity and high cost to damage ratio is worth it, but Salvo ends up often being a 2-for-1, and it's not difficult to pull off. It looks ridiculous, right? 10 red, 12 mana, but you're discounting it with the creatures you play. And a lot of times a card like this is reduce it by the highest power of the creature you control. But this is all power, so as you just play stuff, this gets really cheap, and eventually it is pretty reliably a 2-for-1. It has some setup, but the setup is just you playing the limited game you want to play anyway, playing creatures, and then it's a 2-for-1 that, yeah, it could be as low as red. Yeah, picking off Indestructibles isn't nothing. Although we did beat, ooh, check this out, Primal Might. And also we do like high power for this, and red-green is a good combo for that. In fact, we can, how about this? How about Primal Might making something huge and then making Salvo red. This is great. Yeah, common missing could be probably deal 3. So we should actually keep that in mind. I think one of the few commons that you could justify is probably Dragonfire. So keep that in mind, but we're going to start here. I love it. Swag says I'm a crackhead because I'm a fan of the Krakens. I'm in. I think they should move in on that joke. Azusa is gems, but not really playable. We lost to Azusa yesterday, but it was despite, not because. I think we probably just want Hunter's Edge. And then we open on 3 strong pieces of removal. Invigorating Surge is a fine card. We made great use of this yesterday in our green-white deck. We had a couple of it in a green-white counter, +1/+1 counter deck that was great. CBL is on. Let's see. I have to get some verifications from others that it might be working for them. Fiddles. Not anybody got CBL working? Cardboard Live. Anyway, Hunter's Edge here. Even though I do like that combat trick, this also gives counters and just punches, though, which seems a lot better. We suspected that the Primal Might in the pack might have been a sign that a red common had been taken. So far, red seems cut pretty hard here. Ogre is not worth taking. In this spot, we've got a Dreadmaw that we could try and lean into the green then with. We could take a Containment Priest. This is just a 2/2 flash. I guess it's maybe a little better than a Watchdog for that effect. And Rise Again is solid in its deck, but not the pick for me here. I'd rather have a Dreadmaw than a Rise Again at this point. My question is, do we add a new color? And I think no. I think with Hunter's Edge and Primal Might, I'm happy to start trying to at least stake my territory in green. So I'm going to go with the Dreadmaw to try and help do that. I don't think anything else in the pack is good enough to not just keep pushing the green that we have. Ghoul, I didn't mention the Ghoul, Rob, but that was probably like third on my list. Yeah, Dreadmaw goes late. I just didn't like shifting for anything else there. But maybe that was weak of me. Like I don't want to. There is value to cutting a color downstream, but not over taking the most powerful card. So if I missed the most powerful card there, maybe I married my green stuff a little too much. But at least I had my reasons there. Yeah, blue is proving a little bit open, but not with stuff that I care about. Every rare has been in the pack, so there's that. Yeah, run afoul, try to wheel that. I don't think we want this. I guess I'll take a crash through. Even though, because the salvo is good. I really feel like we're being cut on red to the right, but there was crash through is good enough there, especially with red green, that I thought it was okay taking. Chorister was the other one. That Chorister and crash through were my choices there, and I went with crash through because we had a good red card. But Drowsing Pteranodon here is a great sign, right? So let's try to really lean into the green here. I feel like I haven't had a Pteranodon in a deck for a week. Yeah, I don't know about my Dreadmaw and Crash Through picks. We may end up in another color pair where I really wish this Crash Through had been just kind of the best card in that pack or whatever, but what do you think here? We could take a flyer on a 2-drop in the dog. Rob is going to scream Track Down for us, and there's also a Sky Scanner. You're just taking gems. I think Scanner is... If you take a white card, we're taking the dog. We could. Let's take the doggy. Track Down is pretty replaceable. If we end up in green-white, we'll be happy to have this doggy. I'm down for the dog. The Scanner is fine, but interesting. So Turn to Slag is real, if not great, removal. But we have a Training and a Guile. I think probably just Training for the Pteranodon here. Track Down is good there, Rob, but I don't... The thing is, I do think we don't see eye to eye on exactly how many Track Downs you want. I want 0 to 1. So I just don't prioritize it the way you seem to. I don't dislike it. I just don't prioritize it. Don't really care if we end up with one. Yeah, land would have been good too there, but I think... Training on Tranit. This combo is too good to pass. Yeah, Ogre is fine. Maybe there's enough red to stay in the color. We'll probably get a lot of red in 2. I'm just not expecting any in 3. Sure feels like the red has been largely cut. Might just not be in the packs, but it feels like it's been pretty cut. This Sanctum has a chance of play, whereas I just don't think the red one is going to here. Keeping the dog in, I really, yeah, it's going to be pretty telling what happens in pack 2. If the packs in pack 2 happen to have a lot of good red, and we've successfully cut it, and with this Arsonist, like Steed or Arsonist here, I still just like the Arsonist better. So we've got some red, but it's not impressive red, so I'm still ready to abandon this red. If the picks say so. This ogre came back. Good to see. Like, this was the only red card in the pack first time through, right? And I was worried that that was a sign that we were being cut. So now I'm actually pretty hopeful. This is a fantastic sign for us. Prismite will take the random 2 over the 5. Another 5er. Well, this is a color we are not. Blue. What do we like out of the pack? The colors we seem to be are Cur and Uprising. This could be an Uprising deck, but it's not gonna, right now it's not a good one. Remember, Uprising needs to see the thing as 4 power as it enters the battlefield, not at the end of your turn or whatever. So right now, our ways to trigger this are Dreadmaw, Turret Ogre, Anaki Ogre, full stop. So we're going to take it, but it needs further building around. We are, oh, did I miss one? Dreadmaw, Ogre, what's the 4th I'm missing? Ganmore says we got 4, I count 3. Anyway, we'll take it, but it needs help. We are not there yet on this card. Another Salvo. I think we're kind of there on this card. Wouldn't mind the Palladium Mirror, but we're going to take the Salvo again. Double rare, and then we get a nice Visionary here. Snap Visionary. We're very far from stitching anything. Dreadmaw, fine, but we just want a Truffle Snout in this spot. We take a Thrill. You know, if anything, if Ikoria taught me anything, it's to respect like Cathartic Reunion and that type of ability. I mean, a Cathartic Reunion, you get to discard 2, and it just feels like casting Ancestral. But Thrill is a real card, but it's kind of like Track Down for me, right? I want 0 to 1 or whatever. It's not a priority. Nice. True wanted a second Dreadmaw over a first Truffle. Hopefully, it would be nice if we get to cut this, but I just couldn't prioritize a 6 over a 3 this early. But we'll take this. Track Down for Rob, or a Jungle Hollow for possible splashing. I don't think we're looking to splash where we're headed, though. So this is the kind of place where I'm fine to grab a Track Down. Yeah, we can take Hollow, but I'm hoping to not splash. I think we're on a good track. We found a nice lane. I think we're going to be very happy to not splash here. Brute, not a good enough 6 as far as I'm concerned. I'll take first Track Down over first Brute at any rate. I would play Brute if we didn't get any more top end, I'd play a Brute, absolutely. But hoping we're not gonna have to do that. We are in best of 3, so I'm actually liking a Sniper. Ogre is fine. Another Ogre actually would be good. Actively good. We don't have a lot going on at 4. But this is best of 3, and we have another pack. I kind of want to take the sideboard card and count on finding ogres later. It's true. All right, fine. I switched on chat's behalf, but I think the sideboard card being able to come down on 1 and really wreck multiple flyers proactively is pretty good. Got the Surge back, though. Oh, not back. This is pick 8. That was pack 1. We passed a Surge, I guess. Anyway, nice to have a Surge. And if I look back on this draft and realize that I regret missing out on the 7-3 5-drop, then I'll just accept that we ended up in a train wreck, and that's just how it went. Did I go best? I thought this was best of 3. I meant to enter best of 3. If I failed, then it's certainly within my range to have failed to enter the right queue. But here, we'll take one. Maybe we'll play it. Oh, banner. Yeah, my banners are always a lie, though, during the draft here. I'll at least turn those off. Or I should actually get in the habit of updating that as we go, but yeah, we can do that while we're waiting. Burn Bright that we're not going to play. Sentinel we're not going to play, or Golem we're not going to play. Let's take a Sentinel we're not going to play to mix it up. And then we'll mix it up with a different artifact we're not going to play. Caves for a possible splash, or just a sure strike for a reasonable trick. I'll take the strike. Again, on the feeling that I'm not going to want to splash, but now that I've passed 2 black tap lands, I'm expecting... Oh, we got one back anyway. There we go. Check it out. All right, everybody's happy. And I guess we'll find out if it's a decent sideboard card. We're just doubling all the rares. Another Might over Warden. Love a Warden. But hard not to take the Might. Maybe we'll wheel a Mutt. Yeah, I would love a Warden. I'd love the Mutt, but I'm not passing the Might. Now I start thinking of your puns. We have 2 Volcanic Salvos and 2 Primal Might, so it's kind of like Might Erupt. That's my deck name currently. Might Erupt. Shock over Malkin here. It's more removal. We're doing pretty good on removal, but this is our first instant speed 1 or 2 drop removal, so I do want it. We might actually be a creature light green-red deck, because we're getting a lot of nice removal. And by creature light, I mean like a little under 15 or something instead of the usual 15 plus. And Dragonfire is putting me to that test again, I guess. I'm not passing it. Close your eyes. Is this good enough for us? Are we doing this thing? Shocks, Primal Mites, doubling a salvo? Should we do it for the lulz? I mean, we probably just wanted training. I think I'm gonna... True is being the grown-up in the room. I'm gonna be a grown-up, sorry. Hobble Fiend here is kind of exactly what I want. Not exactly. This is what I want. The 2-drop is really where I wanted to be. A 2/2. Mentor is nice, but too late for that path. Scourge for the potential to grow, or just a straight up Dreadmaw. I think we can go for the Scourge here. Because a Scourge at 6 mana is a 5/5, right? It's only 1 off the Dreadmaw anyway. And you can then grow it after that. And it fits anywhere on the curve. Let's take that. Nice. Avenger. I saw the Feline Sovereign and thought that was nice, but Avenger is what we want, obviously. Maybe not obviously, but if you were wondering. This card is great for the deck, and I was hoping to get one, and I'm glad we did. Gotta love getting your Signpost Uncommons, pack 3, pick 8. Kitty. And we have so much removal, I don't see us playing Ranger's Guile. We're going to be more proactive with our instants and sorceries, but we'll take a nice Pride Malkin to follow up the Tranidon. Yeah, we didn't end up with the Cat Lord, but I don't regret the Avenger pick at all. And we're clearly in the right place. We'll take a Burl Fist. I don't know, maybe... I don't think we're running 2 Run-a-Fowls anyway, so we'll take the Burl Fist. And here's one of these Bone Pit Brutes that we could run if we want, but I just hopefully don't have to. And a last pick Guile, why not? Just to make things really difficult on us. Really difficult to have cuts to make. Crash through, not good enough. Prismite gone. Probably need to cut Track down. Sorry, Rob. Sanctum gone. Just a lot of cuts to make, so it's got to be good stuff to stay in. Like, we need to figure out which 4-drop we cut. Probably the Burl Fist, since it does not trigger the Uprising on ETB. Yeah, we probably don't need Sure Strike either. Let's check the creature count. Yeah, we can cut the Kitty. That's fair. Also does not enter as a 4-power. And yeah, let's also count... I don't want to cut a Cur. I think it's too important to have the 2-drop. But we can consider where we're at on actual triggers for our Uprising here. We see this is effectively 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6 is right on the edge. Like, if it were 5, I would probably just snap cut it. And if it were 7 or 8, I would snap run it. But I think Uprising at 6 is kind of right on that line. Someone down on training because of lack of Pteranodons. I'm generally not cutting trainings, although you're right. Like, for me, it's not about the Pteranodons. It's about the fact that our other non-creature spells are more directly applicable and good. You know, just removal just being stronger than not removal. But I really like it for a lot of, Scourge getting trample, Avenger getting trample, mainly the Scourge, but just in general, things getting trample is fine. The card draw is fine. The card flow is fine. But we could cut 1. I mean, if we still, we are at 42, so we could like cut 1. This is a place where between the Scourge and the Dreadmaw and even the salvos, I know the salvo can be as cheap as red, but I'm not interested in going to 16 lands in this one. I think we want to have our 17. Isn't Uprising just a better training? Training, if we read the card, costs 1 mana less, immediately draws you a card regardless of the size of your creature, and so, like, they're not the same thing, right? I mean... It also increases the power, right? I kind of see where you're going with it, but I don't think they're that equivalent. Arsonist could go. Yeah, I think Arsonist can go. We got a lot of removal, and we picked up Shock and Dragonfire, so I feel better about our early removal game. But this looks good. What do you think of this? I like every card in our deck right now. All right, let's. I said this was going to be. How do I rename? There we go. Might Erupt. Squirrel lands. I don't think we have squirrel lands, but let's do some land shopping for Fiddles. We got some sweet new Jumpstart lands. I love that one. Wizard Lizard wishes we had double vision. Well, I took a training over it and then cut a training, but honestly, if you had double vision, I would have cut that too. So, no, you can't yet, John. I'm sure they know that that's a feature we want, and I have no doubt that Wizards is well aware of the fact that we would like to have a default lands feature. And in fact, they've kind of given us, like, this is the default. Anyway, it's just not here yet. Amonkhet lands, the templiest ones. So let's see. Can you give me a... This is row A, row B, column 1 through... What am I looking at? Near the start. All right. Oh, here. Let's look here then. Oh, this is a pretty temple-y green one. Okay, it's right there. So then this one. There we go. Oh yeah, I could use filters, but do they even have the, like, how could I filter to find Amonkhet lands, for example? I mean, I don't know how to use filters to find specific lands, but there is no set. That's what I mean. They only have the set drop downs of this actual sets that have been released. Anyway, looks good. I'm going to put Primal Might as our box and suggest that out. And I think we want, I guess Brontodon says double green is probably correct. This isn't really a 1, so mostly we want red on 1 and 2, but then we immediately have this need for double green on 3, so I'm going to narrowly give it to green off the Brontodon. But if the Brontodon were another Truffle Snout, for example, I would go 9 mountains, 8 forests. I think it's that close. But this is what I look at. I look at what I want to do on turn 2 and what my double requirements are at like 3 and 4. Those are the big impacts for me on how to balance a 17 land situation. We were also, we were talking about whether the algorithm justifies 16, but this is best of 3 anyway, so no algorithm involved in the hands. So yeah, Haj, that's why it's Might Erupt, right? We got double rared, double rare. All right, Hat has done it. You all can blame Hat. I'm gonna let Oppo yammer at me, I guess. And Pet Select is a different one, right? Someone wants me to run a pet. I have to charge 1,000,000 points for that. All right, here we go. Throw up a par poll. If I run this event 1,000,000 times, how many matches of the 3 possible do we win on average? Well, gotta mulligan this. This looks like a fine keep, though. Do you get greedy and send back a mountain, or do you keep the 3 lands and say send back the Hobble Fiend to just be sure we go Tranodon into Malkin? Probably can just get rid of the Hobble Fiend here, but I'm tempted to be greedy, but I think Tranodon into Malkin with a shock backup is so strong that we should just ensure we have that. Chat seems to agree. Fiddles wants to be greedy. I respect that, Fiddles. It is tempting, but I am going to keep all of my land, ditch the Hobble Fiend, and ensure this curve out. Oh my god. Fine. My rule will be that if they chat at me, I'll chat back, okay? Ugh. Now they know I'm listening. Hat. Jerk. Oh, it's the setup, Timnos. A hello at the start of the game is just the setup for it. All right, we're going to take a turn off of, well, I was going to say we'll take a turn off, but should we? Look, they're showing green, blue. They're not going to be able to fight something on turn 3. Yeah, everybody's like, kill the U's, but hear me out. Hear me out. How are they going to get the U's to 3 power, or 3 toughness before we untap? And if they do, we do have Salvo coming. So, yeah, but if they Rousing Reed, that's their whole turn. My point is, what can they do for 3 mana on their next turn that permanently turns the Ooze into 3 toughness that's realistic? So I'm going Malkin. It may seem risky, but I think I've assessed the risk, and I just don't think they're going to do that much before next turn. And if they have a counter, a shock gets around the common counter. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, Haj, that, like, there are things that could happen. I'm not saying it's impossible for this to hit 3 toughness before we untap, but I am saying if we do, we have an awfully nice backup plan for that possibility, right? Find a land off the top, we could drop Avenger, and this is going to be red-red. Oh yeah, Rousing Reed does do it. Sorry, I thought Rousing Reed was just like the I forgot the +1/+1. So good call on the Rousing Reed, but I'm still happy. I'm fine. I reasoned it through. I think the Salvo is good enough, and we got lucky with the Primal Might anyway. But I'm happy that happened because it showed that, like, I thought it through. Well, clearly not all the way through, because I wasn't counting Reed as a legit way to get it there, but I knew this was a possibility that they could do something like this, but I loved our backup plan. Could just do it for... We could leave Shock up. It's a little telegraphed. But sure, let's telegraph it. I mean, we're short on land, so we'll do it this way. I like holding up the shock. It could be really valuable to pick off their next play when we're short on land like this. Well, too big for a shock, but that's not. We could offer the Pride Malkin, like, go to 5, eat the kitty, but then we drop an Avenger and have Salvo, Pteranodon, Avenger, and you at 5. But they probably don't even block anyway, so we probably get them to 5 anyway. Yeah. Yep, Tim Nose and I came to the same conclusion. At least I thought it through. One of my leaks is just swinging away without really thinking about that kind of thing, so even though concluded that it was correct not to, I feel good about remembering to consider it. Hey, Fool, how's it going? Yeah, not particularly fair, but we're going to show him. Yeah. So that was interesting. I took a risk. They quote got me. The worst case happened on the risk, but the backup mitigation plan for that risk was good enough. Good point. Cheese points out that in that particular draw, it's a good thing we didn't pitch that land, although sample size, anecdotal is not the end-all be-all, but it's a data point. Yeah, let's see. Anyway, green, blue, probably just make big stuff fly. So actually run afoul seems interesting. Over what? Maybe the training? Yeah, I think in this case, the trouble with the sniper is that this is going to be good against a lot of low toughness flyers. Like if we face true green, like blue-white skies, I would want the sniper. But run afoul, like our opponent is launching green beef, so let's use run afoul. And then, do you like? I think we can cut the training for it. Other removal we have, like we could cut. Yeah, I don't see cutting any of our other removal. So, like, yeah, nothing else makes sense to me to cut besides the training. So let's do that, and also know that with where is it? You know, with double ogre, we're pretty good against skies anyway. But I do like run afoul, snagging a fly-in fatty. You know, I took out the Burl Fist Oak because we weren't running, because it didn't trigger the Uprising, but then we took out the Uprising, so now I'm wondering if the Oak is supposed to be in. We'll take a look at that. Because maybe we start with an Oak and put one of those Ogres in the sideboard. This is a nice hand. Just got better. I'm going to open on Forest so I don't tip the lack of a shock. Well, I was going to cur it up, but obviously Tyrannodon is going to be a better follow. Question of next turn is whether we Ogre or Visionary, assuming the Tyrannodon lives here. What we want to do is get to Hunter's Edge level, and then we can edge the Tyrannodon to kill the other Tyrannodon. Got to take some hits right now, though. I guess we drop an Ogre. Okay, that's great to see. So I'm going to go... Visionary would be nice, but I'm going to drop an Ogre that can threaten to trade with the Tyrannodon, enable our Tyrannodon to attack, and set up next turn, regardless of... As long as one of these lives, if they're tapped out and shields are down, we can drop a Mountain, Hunter's Edge away their Tyrannodon. So that's our plan. Foil King like Visionary next. I like making sure we have the power on board, even after a removal spell, to get their Tyrannodon. Although if they use Edge to kill, say, this, then... Okay, good. Like, the worst case would have been Edge killing the Ogre, because then this goes 5/5 and we can't edge this anymore. Although we could do it... yeah, this allows us to do that. Yeah. So then we get Edge this turn, next turn 2 spell with Cur and Visionary, or Cur and Truffle Snout, depending on which seems more appropriate. But right now, take out this Tyrannodon. Yeah, Capture Sphere versus our salvos is not the best tech for Oppo. We're 10 to 17 here, but I'm going to go ahead and drop him to 13 and try and catch up on this race, make him come up with something to make me second guess that. We also have a virtual 4 life here if we need it, so we're kind of at a virtual 14 if that's what we need the snout for. so we got tough to stop 2 in the air, but we're going to double spell here, including a cur that can straight up 1-for-1 on a block with a Pride Malkin without a pump. And we can go Truffle Snout for life, or yeah, if it's a Frost Breath, let's play around Frost Breath. Frost Breath says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage, which is still not enough to kill us, so that's fine, right? I mean, not great, but just deciding about... We could Truffle for life, but we can also... if Frost Breath is the big worry and it doesn't kill us, we can go ahead and Visionary Cur here and Truffle Snout for life the turn after. Yeah, we might even find a shock, right? So let's Visionary and take a look. Yeah, I even counted the prowess, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 off of a Frost Breath. So I mean, if you're saying Frost Breath plus 4 plus 4, yeah, I mean, I guess, but I'm not going to play around that. And I'm going to keep attacking them. We got some defense on the ground anyway. So if it is Frost Breath, do it. Yeah, I'm in damage prevention mode here, but Ogre will stop the flyer, Truffle Snout for some life. I think we're good. They could have, obviously, spells to disrupt that, but in the abstract, our situation looks nice, and we even get to do it all this turn with the Visionary tapping for mana. And let's see, send in Pteranodon, and then double spell. Boom. That doesn't hurt either. Well, not us. At 3/3, it could threaten to attack through an Arcanist, which is something, but the life is more important here. Yeah, how about them apples? I just want to make sure we do this right. We get 3 things with 4 power, destroy 1. This has to be removal or something to stop it. So we'll do 1, 2, 3. That's fine. I mean, we're empty-handed, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 4 mana up, you're right. Let's play around Lofty. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want an X of 3. X of 3 gets the job done, but plays around Lofty. 2 gets the job done and still allows us to attack with the Visionary, right? So we could even do that. However, yeah. Okay, we'll do it this way, and we'll kill the Pride Malkin. No, I want... We can't do the turret... The Onaki Ogre, what? No, we need something to be 4 power. All right. Left this back because if they did have a spell to disrupt everything, I just wanted to have a defender, and then we could come back the next turn for it. Hat with a good point, though, in deciding which card to make 4 power to give us 3 4-powered attacker. I could have chosen the one that, if bounced, would give us the most value. Little edge lost there. It didn't matter because they didn't have the bounce, but if Oppo had had unsubstantiate, Hat would have been correct, that we would have been much happier to be replaying that elf. Why not attack the flyer? because the flyer was tapped and going for a blocker was going for the win. And also, they didn't have lethal on a crackback with the flyer, Craig. So if we had been in a spot where unsubstantiate means it wasn't. Oh, then yeah, I should have. I'm sorry. I thought I figured the flyer was attacking us. I was too cocky then. Sorry. That's another place where I was less efficient there than I should have been. Right. The two things I should have done differently on that final attack to maximize the conservatism would be to have targeted the elf so that if it's bounced, we get the card back, and to kill the flyer so that if anything else went wrong, at least the thing that was killing us would be dead. Oh, actually, now that you say that, that is, I forgot that I know I'm like trying to backtrack and use an excuse that somebody else has given me, but I swear, I Drink says prowess could have let it trade. I didn't say that out loud, but that's exactly what I thought. It was a 3/3, and we were making a 4 power. We were making a 4/4. Oh, I targeted the elf? Okay, good. I did something right. I didn't think about it, though, right? Hat's the one. I got lucky then. I didn't think through that was the reason to do it. So as I always say, when I accidentally make the right play, great. But wanted to... yes, that's true. It is a bite. So maybe that wasn't that didn't really matter either, Jim. But certainly... I wanted to be 100% sure I was killing something. So like another thing I guess it could have been is like, let's say it was +4/+4. I don't know. Now I'm just talking around all the different things. Like you can imagine the different cards they could have in their hand and how it would cause you to play the turn differently. If they exposed an unsubstantiate, or if they exposed a +4/+4, it would change. It would change how you would do it, right? Oh, it is a fight, says chat. So there you go. Complicate, like classic, right? And I love talking about this kind of stuff because I think this is the place where people miss out, and where it's like I have this benefit of making these moves in front of an audience, and everybody throws out the little refinements they are thinking about on my plays, whether they're big mistakes or small refinements of EV. We at least get to see them, discuss them, and learn from them. I think what happens to most people, probably you all included, and me included when I'm not streaming, is that we execute that final turn that we just had. We raffle stomp our opponent 2-0. Yeah, we're awesome. Our deck is awesome. And we move on. And we don't really think about what we missed and where we were suboptimal, right? And so around here, we're trying to be happy about our wins, but not ignore when we got there suboptimally, so that we can try and learn to improve our win percentage even more the next time we're faced with those decisions. Hard to be 5-2 in best of 3. We are now 1-0. But my play did allow us to leave somebody back in case of, I don't know. I don't know if that particular choice affects the long-term EV, Morling. You'd have to explain. Can you call out what targeting the ogre over something else plays around? Are you just looking for higher toughness? So if they had some, I mean, they're blue-green. So I want to know what you're playing around. Ugh, this is tough. This looks really great from 4+, but we don't have anything at 2 or 3, and we're on the play. What do you think, gang? We're pretty likely to draw something to do, but man, if our first play is Leafkin Avenger on 4, we might just lose this game. But we have a lot of things to find, and a lot of ways to get out of it. If we do start on Avenger, So, Lizard, are you shipping it? Lizard points out the risk here, but I don't know if Lizard is saying that means it's a ship. I'm going to make a greedy keep. I'm never punished, right? We're going to draw 2s. Great. So you would keep though. I mean, I'm not putting you on the spot like suggesting you're wrong. I'm genuinely interested if your correct reckoning of the risk leads you to want to mulligan that or not. D is on mulligan. Well, now, come on, Magic Gods. One time, don't let D be right. You gotta give me something. Avenger gets better with stuff on board, but it doesn't absolutely need it. Well, we're a little bit short on low drops, but don't worry, we drew our 2 12s. But yeah, this is a good thing for us to see, right? Whew! Like, Oppo having done... The only thing Oppo having done by turn 3 is a silent dart is us getting lucky. Because we were punished, like we were punished by our draws, but not punished by opponent. So... we got punished, but Oppo failed to punish us for our own punishment. Tranny, Don, you're late. Go Leafkin Avenger here. I'm gonna make them use this. I know they can dart it, but... I mean, I guess I could have gone Pteranodon. Maybe I should have gone Pteranodon and make them dart that. But we do get this on blocks. And if they want to use the whole turn on dart, then we have at least had them use up their entire turn for that. And if they let us untap with this, great. If we find a land, we get to drop a Dreadmaw, etc. Looks like they're going for it. We're okay with this. They had to use their whole turn for that, and we still get to drop a good defender, and it's a defender that gets to be bigger pretty soon, we hope. If this Dreadmaw can land and live, these salvos turn on. But this is a big situation. If this Pteranodon dies... and we don't draw a 6th land, you know, we draw some, I don't know what other 6 drops we have, or even if we draw some less relevant spell like a shock, you know, dead Pteranodon shock off the top would be some rough spots for us. Although shock just got a lot better. All right, coming up Millhouse for the moment. I'm going to drop Dreadmaw and hope it lives. We're trying to dodge basically finishing blow, right? But if we can untap with this, double salvo becomes pretty nutty. Final blow, thank you. I'm not going to attack. I doubt they're blocked. I don't think they're blocking. Maybe I should have attacked because they're just never blocking, but I really want to preserve our 9 power for these. Ah! Didn't get to preserve it anyway. Still close to casting it, and after Hunter's Edge, we should be able to. Ah, that one. Yeah. That was the other one to worry about. So yeah, you can see we're at 9, but we're close to still getting it. I think we need to kill the... What do you think? Striker or Devotee? What are we getting rid of here? Edge the Lord. Striker can get way out of hand. I mean, these are both strong cards. But yeah, this has more value potential, right? Like, eventually we're going to cast these, and we can take out the Striker and something else. If we let this live and they happen to get super wide on zombies, then suddenly Salvo is a lot less better. So, just thinking it through, as we should. And I think everybody's right. The Devotee has to go. Now we get the question of block or attack or not attack. And I'm going to attack, partly because I want to encourage them to play creatures to pump the striker to crack back instead of doing anything to kill our Pteranodon. And then if we draw a land, our salvos are on. So I'm going to attack to both because I think it's a, like, also I would take this trade, you know, if they, I'm not blocking, and I want to tempt them into not doing anything to kill the Pteranodon this turn. We want the game to go long, but I also want them to not do anything to take out the thing that lets me cast these. And that's what I mean. Like, Oppo is like, yeah, I'm going to dump my creatures, and then I get this striker for 1 million. And it's big. It hits us for a big smack. But now we're a land draw away from wrecking them pretty good here. All right, we didn't get the land draw, but we did get a shock. And we can wait until they... I don't want to... tough spot. If they have feet... If they have feet of resistance, we are just doomed. So really, we have to play around feet of resistance. I would love to make them attack with a striker, tap all of their stuff, and then... and really blow them out. And that's the temptation here, right? And everybody in chat is saying the right thing. But I'm just saying to anybody who's thinking, we can totally get them. Just let them untap, let them invest all this tapping into the striker, and then then what happens is they play 2 more creatures and a feat, and suddenly you're being attacked with a 7/7 protection from green or protection from red double striker. So we're just going to kill it. And now low enough on life that I'm also not going to attack. No, you can wait for the tap. It goes on the stack. Really? Maybe I'm wrong. Doesn't it go on the stack? Surely that goes on the stack. Why wouldn't that stack? Are you all sure of that? I mean, I've been playing 25 plus years, and I I could be wrong, but why wouldn't it use the stack? All right, we got there. I'm gonna go Lieutenant Scanner to start, and then we'll follow with the other 2. We could go Flyers, but if they put a counter on this, suddenly it can attack into the Pteranodon. Attack, trigger, then simultaneously tap and pump. Okay, so they would get to... You would have to do it before they chose to tap. Got it. So it wouldn't... Thank you. It does use the stack, but they would... the timing of it would still be such that they could just decline to do that. Like, as soon as you put the shock on the stack, they would just go, oh, okay, then I won't tap, right? Got it. Let's go here and here. Oh, did I screw something else up again? That didn't matter anyway, see? It was all to get the feet out. I didn't read cards, sorry, gang. Are we dead? We have to chump the lieutenant now. Well, at least we get a nice lesson in how correct we were to not pretend they didn't have feet. Wait, do we have any blocks to not lose here? Let's see. If we block here, 3, 4... Yeah, we're still alive. If we can beat double feet, that would be great anyway. Not with that. Well, the draw ended up hurting us. They're the keep, rather. We did in fact start slow, and it did in fact cost us. I did not play perfectly there at the end, but one of those free lesson spots, because we weren't going to defeat those. Yeah, even salvoing their comrade cards, they have enough to go to town. But yeah, let's go. Although in this particular matchup, we actually like the flying defense. D reminds me of this button.
Is this a dead man, Doctor? Very dead, Mr. Spock.
So in this case, this is where I would side the Burlfist Oak out to bring in our second ogre. There was a punt when I targeted the wrong stuff with that removal. I shouldn't have gone for the scanner flyer and given them an extra token. Some are liking the Arsonist in. To me, that just feels too cute. Like, maybe the sniper, this is where the sniper could do some work. Although that's still a lot there. But there's a scanner we could ping in the air. I don't know. I don't think that's enough, though. I think our deck is good, and we just send this back. Run afoul. See, the trouble is run afoul. They just ditch their scanner that they got a card off of. That's no good. I like having the double ogre for the flyers, but that's about, I think, all I want to do for extra flyer defense. And like, yeah, no, the oak... The oak is what I now want in the deck when the ogre is not good. Like when the ogre is not doing anything against flyers. But we're up against flyers, so I actually want... I want this. You want oak over snout? I like the 3. But that's close, you're right. Like, oak and snout are close here. We are a little short on... we could add a 4 and it wouldn't be the worst. I decline... I decided against the sniper pocket. We saw one flyer it would be good against, and it's also a flyer that already replaces itself. Like, unless you're seeing an army of 1 toughness flyers, maybe the sniper just isn't it. Yeah, sad times. I'm gonna mulligan. Much better. We will drop... I'm going to drop a mountain. We do have a 3/4 for 3 in here somewhere that requires double green. So if we were to draw the Brontodon, we'd be happy to have the 2 forests. And really, we only need 1 mountain to operate right now. Although if we draw a shock, we'll wish we had another mountain, because then we could go 2-drop plus shock on 3. But I think playing for the possible Pteranodon draw is correct. Start with a natural 2 power instead of something that needs pumping to get there. Yeah, Kerr Pump needs mountain, but still think playing for the Brontodon is the most correct, but I don't know, maybe you have disagreements on that. We can attack here. I'm not going to train, we're going to Kerr, so... And again, just to make it easy to not... I guess if we had shock, I would leave. I would plate it, but maybe we don't have a second mountain, right? Well, I'm going to play a second mountain no matter what, so I'm just going to do that now and train. I'm not going to train. I'm going to pump twice. I don't like playing training into open black mana with, like, eliminate, etc. So I'm going to skip the training. It's the trouble with these. Maybe I'm being a little conservative, but we do have something else to do with the mana, so... And also, we'll find out soon enough, because if I pump the Kerr twice and they have the ability to kill it at instant speed, they sure will. Although it's not seeming like they do. But this is our play this turn. It's okay. I think Eliminate would be the only one, but it's an uncommon that I thought was worth playing around. So this is Fight. So they're going to get some life out of it. We can go Training and then +2. So this is going to make this... I want to make sure we get this. This is a 2-2. Then it becomes a 4-4 and Fights. Yeah, that works. Oh. Man, I want to run that out, but we're going to follow through on the plan here. Seems good, especially with this other one to back it up. There's that Brontodon I was talking about. We can Primal Might for 2. Let's just go for the win. I don't... I mean... we could play around -4/-4 here. It's probably just winning. We can also... well, let's attack... Yeah, but Auto Tapper does that if they're just out of white, not necessarily because of black. I think the safe play is to send in the Cur alone, and then drop Brontodon, Pteranodon, and we'll see if they block. Oop, they block here. I'm gonna be patient. This is going to be good. Why not just do this when we are sure of it? Oops, hold on. Tap right, Ryan. Oh, yeah, I can't play both anyway, but I'm going to do the one. And this is where we find out. All right. My post-it note reminder on pinging with Mutt. I put a little piece of post-it note right on the button on my screen so that I remember to do this. It looks like feet mana. But, let's see. We can get... Primal Might... Might be... I kind of do it a little bit arbitrarily. I think it's a little high. I'm going to leave the 2, but when we have 3, so let's do an X of 3. Yeah, they could have feet up now, but we're going to try. Let's make them have it and then decide from there. Looks like not. All right. Got one back. On to the rubber game. See anything new this time? Another flyer. This is pretty pingable. I mean, the thing is, again, the sniper, even it costs 6 to kill that thing. That's just too much. We could bring in Run Afoul, though. Again, though, if they just play that scanner, it feels so dumb to play Run Afoul. So I'm going to say, yeah, nah, never mind. Let's just run it back. Yeah, sniper's only home is it's probably some constructed plan. I don't know. There may be some card in standard that produces a lot of one toughness flyers. Like maybe there's some token deck that uses one toughness flyers, and that could have been a plant to just have a safety valve against a card like that. Fizz3 says, thank you for the table. Did I give you a table? I don't know what you mean by that, but you're welcome for the table. Looks good. Got a Mud on 2 and some Dragonfire defense. Well, not loving another forest. That's like one of the worst draws in our deck, but we need 6 for the Dreadmaw, so... Oh, I got you. The spreadsheet. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, if that sniper had a ping even of 2, like 1 and a green, I think it would be much more palatable as a sideboard card in limited, but at 3 mana, it's just too expensive to kill anything. Well, I was thinking we would be willing to use the Dragonfire and the Imp, but I think we clearly have our Dragonfire target. And it is Liliana's Devotee, and it's happening right now. Yeah, that's interesting. Cheese as kind of a foil for just an add-on to your blocking of flyers. That I could see that. Scourge as a as a hill giant is okay, but it just trades with the Thallid. I'm not going to run a 3/3 out into a board where it's not good. I would rather wait and make a 4/4 that actually does something. So yeah, let's fiend it and then just pass. Yeah, Scourge combos with Fiend in the sense that when you activate this ability, it triggers this. But the trouble is, Fiend is really in our deck to be a 2-power 2-drop. I'm not intending to activate this much. If it comes up, fine, but it's hard for us in this deck to get a lot of value off of self-sacrifice with Hobble Fiend unless Oppo does something to nullify our creatures on the battlefield. Yeah, and to that end, if they had attacked with a Thallid, I would have thrown the Hobble Fiend on it. And look, here's me remembering. I pinged. There's the Snout. We were talking about being a Burlfist Oak. It'd be better as a Burlfist Oak right now, for sure. But here's where we can go ahead and do the Scourge, because it does something on this board. Then we get Dreadmaw next turn, and then Truffle Snout, increasing the Scourge after that. Attack first. Oh, that's a great question. Norbert asking the question that I always forget to ask myself, even though it's optimal. Should we be attacking? Like, what's our attack plan before we decide anything? We can offer up the Hobble Fiend. Yeah, let's attack with the Hobble Fiend and not the Magmutt. we don't actually value this Hobble Fiend as much as it can be valued in some decks out there, so maybe Oppo will ascribe it the value some decks have for it and make this trade here. This is fine. You would Snout and Fiend next turn. I'm happy about this. That's a fine trade as far as I'm concerned. I'm not worried about adding counters to the Fiend to combo with the Scourge or whatever. I just like perfectly fair trade. And Fiend is a Scourge engine only if you have some endless supply of things to sack. That's what I'm talking about. What exactly are we... What is this? What are we... what is the fuel for this engine of yours, Lizard? Yeah, if they got -4/-4, they kill the Scourge. But as Hodge pointed out, we haven't seen it yet, and they're running things like Silent Dart, so maybe they just don't have it. It was about defense and the Thallid being able to attack, as more so than us being able to attack into the Imp. Certainly, I liked that spot on the curve for the Scourge. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where else you're playing the Scourge. Can't find a second mountain to eventually activate our volcanics, but sure thing, Lizard. As usual, just trying to make sure I'm not missing something relevant. I'm fine to just sit here plunking away with the Magmut. You're right, though. I mean, we would trade for the Imp if they wanted it. Yeah, it's fine. We could... Yeah, we can offer the Magmut. That's a good point. It's telegraphed because we tapped out, but I don't care. You want the Imp for the Mutt or not? They do not. What about the Dart? There's our second mountain. That'll matter eventually. And the one question is, at what point do we offer the Imp for one of these creatures? Could be now. I'm going to start on the... they might be, like, what was the cut? Like, they're black-white, right? So they're just missing a color right now. And so I'm inclined to... yeah, the Mutt might be toast to the Dart, but that's fine. And my feeling is they probably have 4 white cards, right? So we need to pressure them, and I'm going to offer them... They can have Imp for Dreadmaw here, or Imp for Scourge. I would take Imp for Scourge in their shoes because it prevents the most damage over the course of the game, even though this is bigger. Looks like they agree. Probably darting the Mutt as well. Or maybe the Snout. Truffle Snout could go. I still think we should be in great shape if they don't draw a Plains. If they drop a Plains, that probably unlocks their whole hand and suddenly we're in a game of Magic again. But if they can't find a Plains... I'm feeling pretty good, although maybe they draw a, you know, finishing blow, that kind of thing. We're not out of this, but just trying to pressure what appears to be a color-screwed hand. They're going in the tank, which is indicative of a color-screwed person trying to figure out how not to die. Hopefully that's what's going on here. Biggest black bomb in the set, I would say, in the abstract, is Massacre Worm, but it wouldn't even help him here. All right. Nice. Oppo's bad luck helped us on that one, so no great spectacular display of magic prowess there, but we'll take the win. Yeah, I figured Jim was trying to figure out what they could do without any white mana to possibly stabilize there. Seemed pretty tough for them to do that. Maybe there's some kind of 2-for-1 in black, like some removal / blocker that could have worked. I don't know. Can't think of anything. But there may be rares and mythics I haven't fully processed. It's missing some middle stuff, but we got a shock to defend against aggro and a turret ogre for 4, so this is a keep. Second green source. I'm going to go ahead and play the mountain and try to pass quickly, but a 2-drop may very well be something we want to kill here, and it is. I'm going to go ahead and shock that. This is why I kept, is that we actually had tools for this kind of a start. Visionary is nice. We don't do anything on 2 here, but now we have a 3, which is excellent. A 3 that can lead us into potentially miting on 4 if we needed to. Wow, that's a 4. We'll take it. Although, heck, we can do a 5. Suspicious mana up here. Maybe I'll offer the Ogre first. Although Ogre against blue-white could be very good. Maybe we just want to offer the Avenger. But I'm going to send the Visionary first. Always give him a chance to do something mid-combat if you can afford it. And then it clears up what you're playing around when you want to resolve something from your hand. Yeah, it could be Capture Sphere. And, you know, maybe that was them tanking on whether or not to Capture Sphere. If we really wanted to play around Lofty Denial, we could have played a spell first, and then if it didn't get denied, send the Visionary after. I didn't think of that through, of playing around that, but I'm fine with offering a Ogre here and letting them counter it if they got a counter. It seems like a good Ogre. This is a great Ogre deck, though, because clearly there are blue-white skies in that range. Yeah, maybe the Avenger is the thing that's less valuable here. But if this lands with all this mana, like, they eventually just die to the Leafkin ability. So trying to figure out which one to give them. Razor says give them the Avenger. It's close. Both of them have a lot of value, but against blue-white skies, I guess Ogre has more. So let's try the Avenger. Expecting counters. If it's yeah, Lofty Denial, that's too bad. Those who wanted to play around Lofty Denial were certainly correct. But my heuristic is generally good. You know, that heuristic of see what they do is generally a good one. It wasn't there. In this case, if they have another Lofty Denial, we can actually pay for it, though, so I'm going to attack again. Yeah, they might have Rewind, too, which obviously we can't, there's nothing to play around there. Slayton doesn't think playing around counters Sight Unseen is a good idea. Not necessarily, but when it only costs you... I mean, it didn't cost us anything except playing a spell pre-combat. That's the thing about last turn. Like, I think you're right about not playing around counters in general, but it was effectively free to play around it there. We just needed to cast the spell before combat. And so it looks like they had to cancel anyway. So I don't think we would have gotten either spell through. They would have just reversed the order which they did things. Well, I guess we could have gotten, if we played around it both times, we could have gotten around the denial here. But looks like they would have countered the Avenger anyway. I'm still fine with this. Eventually, yeah, eventually they have to cast something. We're getting a little overloaded here, but we can Hunter's Edge the Steed and then get through with the Visionary. Maybe want to get the Enforcer dead in case they get a flyer. But we can use the Primal Might if that becomes necessary. Let's start here. And actually at 14-16 and losing the race, although we have a Primal Might that really helps with the race, especially punch and then attack for 9 or whatever. So do we want to race given the strength of the Primal Might? I think 1 attack is fine here. We may decide that we are not... no, I don't like Primal Might if they want, because this is a good attack. I like saving Primal Might for both removing something bigger and for creating a bigger attack. And Invigorating Surge here is interesting. That's a lot of mana. I think we should try that. And then we even have... So we have a potential for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it might be more counters. Let's find out. I'm going to go for big damage here and see what they've got. Let's see. Pros and cons of waiting to do this mid-combat. I guess... I can't think of anything where it really matters. I guess they might capture spheres first. Let's attack and see if they capture sphere, right? That's the reason to wait. They seem to have something pausing them. I'm going to go for it. What can you do? Make them have it. Make them have it. Make them have it. If they bounce us, at least we get to replay the Visionary and draw a card. Yeah, Swift Response would suck. I mean, there's a lot of things that would suck, but we're going for it. Well, there you go. It was indeed Capture Sphere. Need help. Help! Help! It works. I mean, I asked for help and we kind of get help. Not exactly what we were thinking, but... Lethal? How is it lethal? Them or us? What do you mean? Don't even need to... Yeah, it might be Swift Response, but we have no choices, right? I don't know why I'm doing 2. It doesn't really matter. All right, we're hanging on. Hanging on. Oh my god. My chat is still on. Hobblefiend can sack the Visionary. Well, could have. you like to give me any of them? Well, that's not useful. Salvo would have been great. We had outs. We missed them.
He's dead, Jim.
So yeah, blue-white skies. What else did we learn about this deck? Lofty Denial, something to play around. Couple of cancel. So there's some counter magic going on. Is this another place for run afoul? Didn't see the one that... Yeah, I think we can put at least run afoul in for the training. I like the ogres again in this matchup. Yeah, let's try this. One time. Yeah, this is a little rough, but I'm going to keep. We're one land away from Brontodon on 3. Surge is nice, especially on a Snout with a counter and Scourge. There's just a lot of good going on here. And we have 2 draws to find our any land, so I'm going to keep. Oppo has mulliganed this one. All right, magic gods, my one time is on a land for this hand. Thank you. I'll let you know what my next one time is, magic gods. Let's see if they want to attack into this. If so, I would guess feet. Or that's a reason to attack into it, just having another charger. We could even say this is a fine trade, like if we're just worried about surviving. Although we are, yeah, and like we're about to drop stuff that doesn't trade with it. But I think we're about to get big Scourges and stuff. We should be a little more patient. We can take 5, right? Well, Capture Sphere is going to use... Well, if they have Capture Sphere, they'll use it on the Brontodon, so that doesn't really matter. Yeah, Snout gaining is good. Oh, Shock will be fine when we find our red. Magic Gods, that's my next request. How about a mountain? Hill Giant Scourge. Snout gain life. Let's just do Snout gain life. Then we're happy to... I'm Snout gain life... Happy to throw Snout in front of Chargers. And I'm going to send the Bronte. They seem to be pausing. What's available for 1 white? I guess it must be... Oh, they're thinking about it. Yeah, they could block and trade. They have that +1/+0 draw card. Maybe they're worried about something on our end. Yeah, Defiant Strike is a good play here for Oppo. I would do it if I were them. It's still a trade, which is maybe what they're thinking about. But then we're in a spot where, sure, I want the mountain, but then we're... yeah, Ranger's Guile is what they're worried about over here for sure. And the full control was somewhat accidental, but maybe has convinced them. Interesting. Yeah, the tells are not a great part of the system, Slayton. You're not wrong. but I like the speedy play. Somewhat of a trade-off there. Well, not loving this, obviously. I think we go for a Scourge on 3. 3/3 Scourge and see how they want to attack. Might have to just offer the Scourge for a Charger. But I want to see if the Brontodon on D holds them back here or not. Could just be another Capture Sphere coming on the Brontodon, but I'm going to throw this Scourge in front, I think. Okay, that's good. That probably means they're not attacking, and if we can land it, Primal Might probably good enough here. Can also just hold Surge for the Brontodon. That would also make the Scourge a 4. Yeah, we could fight for 1. That's a good call. Fight one thing and then hold up Surge for the defense on their turn. And might as well take out the Steed then, yeah? Yeah, that's right, because it does it twice, right? If you do this, it puts a counter on, then puts more counters on, so it triggers the Scourge twice. Great call. Hidden Prey Upon mode activated. In order to get the Scourge to grow, we have to target the Brontodon. It's got non-Hydra, so if you just target the Scourge itself, it won't do what you want. It'll be 8/8. Let's. Oh yeah. Let's see. What does it say exactly? Whenever one or more are put on, put A. So it doesn't matter how many are being put on. In my reading, you put the 1 on, it triggers this once. You double the counters on here, it triggers this once again and adds 2 more counters. Yeah, but I'm saying we need to double the Brontodon. I mean, if we did this, it would make the Scourge an 8/8, but I want to double dip and make the Brontodon big too. So yes, you're correct that if we target the Scourge, that's what it becomes. But I'm saying I think it's better for us to spread it around and make our Brontodon a 5/6 and our Scourge a 5/5. Do we go for a Surge now, given their lack of play? No, I'm just going to untap. If they are telling us we're stable, I'm going to wait. I don't know, sacking it for what? Like the Brontodon is gonna, like, maybe the Brontodon unlocks a Colossal Dreadmaw or something, but yeah, I'm not worried about using this as a naturalize. I just want to get a couple of nice threats. Nice thing is the presence of the Capture Sphere and the Brontodon at least disguises any of our instants in hands as long as we have 1 mana up. Hey, who was talking about you, Mountain? Glad to see you. Welcome, welcome. Now, what do we do with this sweet red mana? We can hold up Shock and Invigorating Surge. I kind of like that, actually. We could go Mutt, hold up Surge, but it seems like our board is successfully holding this back. I kind of like just waiting. I mean, we could play the Mutt, I guess, or the Ogre. 5 mana, Mutt still holds up Surge, which is why Gandmore is suggesting that. Dandmore. The Gadandmore. Let's just call you Moore. So that's the choice here. Yeah, okay, fine. We seem to be stable, and the Surge is still available to us, so let's try it. Yeah, Ghost Light could get in for some, but we're at 13, so we'd even survive that, and then we could shock the Ghost Light. So let's see. Mutt can become a 4/4 that grows the Scourge. That's worth it. Let's turn the Mutt into a 4/4 and eat the Tapper. I'm assuming they're going to get a flyer here eventually, and so chewing up an Enforcer seems good. This is also a spot, though, where we could do this now to see if it happens, because if this gets countered, I don't want to block with the Mutt. So I am going to, in this case, play it before blocking so that we commit to a block that with an already 4/4 creature against blue. Just so. So we're going to let all this happen and try and get there on our follow-up plays. Shock and Hunter's Edge are huge here and may keep us from being straight dead. But maybe we can't. Are we still just dead? We can take 2, but not 3. I think I did. No, that was first Mutt. Mutt was summoning sick. That was our first red play. But are we dead? I think we're dead, right? We get 2 creatures. Oh, no, we're not. Yeah. We kill 2 things and block a third, and then we go to 1, right? Not yet. We are only...
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
And let's see, what needs to die? Chargers need to die. Scroll up in chat, it should say, if you got gifted a sub. I didn't see it, though, but thanks to whoever gifted Haj a sub. Yes! I'm pinging and stabilizing. How aggro do we get in this situation? How many creatures do we want to keep on D? I think we need at least 2, so that if they have 1 piece of removal, we're not dead. But that can be Magmut and Dreadmaw, so we could send in with these 2, but Brontodon becomes a trade. Maybe we just send in the Scourge, and if they want to trade... yeah, we can do... You like swing Bront? Trade for the Enforcer if they want it? Yeah, they're the same trade, you're right. Well, we can run this out, see what they've got, make sure this sticks. All right, this is good though. We can even still offer the attack. I'm gonna send in Brunt. If they find 1 piece of removal off the top, we still don't die. So, trying to attack while we can, where we can. Yeah, Frost Breath off the top is real. Are we playing around Frost Breath off the top? We've seen 1. How many they're playing? Maybe they're playing more. We could play around multiples. But we also need to get him dead. You know, so that's the classic tension here. Well, that's not a great sign, obviously. But we have no choices but to block, although I'm going to block this way. That's all right. I'll take that. They miss lethal. Yeah, they could have just gone, can't block with green stuff, you're dead, right? That's where protection from is tough. Oh, we had red and green. Okay, so there you go. I guess they didn't punt. Chat was suggesting maybe. Anyway, back to this. Oppo's got to be annoyed at me. All right, I'm not playing around a top-decked Frost Breath. We have to try and win, right? Like, sending one... Like, to play around Frost Breath means we don't attack until we have 4 creatures. That seems wrong. So, let's just send. Yeah, maybe I should play around single removal. That was a little greedy, sorry. I was sitting here thinking about not playing around the Frost Breath, but I should have played around single removal. We'll see if we get punished. Cross your fingers. I don't like that play from me. I'd even let D punt me without objection, because I should have left one more back. Okay, we got lucky. We got lucky. I mean, D is always going to punt me, but I have different levels of objection to his punts. In this case, I would not. I think it was just straight wrong not to play around a removal there. There you go, D. So, now playing around removal means we attack with 2. Or do we attack with everything? Does attacking with everything forces a chump, but then we're still... Yeah, I'm going to... Swing all forces chump, right? But swing 2, drop ogre does play around them top-decking removal. Funny, everybody's now saying attack all and not playing around removal. Does it force a double? 3, let me just make sure. I think you're all right. I'm just making sure. Yeah, they have to block 2. They have to chump twice. Okay, you're all right. Chat is correct. Just had to do the math myself. And let's see, now the question is, are there sweepers we need to be playing around? It's white-blue. They could do the Epiphany, right? The 6-drop. So, I don't know. I think no sweepers means we just play the ogre. All right. Yeah, we got there, but I would still, if I could do it again, not knowing any of the results, the correct thing to do there is play around. I mean, they showed us multiple capture spheres. They could have topped. It would have been total justice if Oppo had top decked a capture sphere and beat us there. I screwed up and didn't get punished. So I'll take it. We got it. We got profit. We got gems. We got a 3-0. Oh, wait. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I thought that was us. I thought that was for the match. This is going to 3 now. Well, now I've jinxed myself. Now there's no way I can win. Darn it. Sorry. We're going to lose game 3. I can't go acting like I've 3-0'd and not get punished by the gods for that. Oh, no. Sorry, everybody. I have tempted the magic gods, and now it's going to be really tough to win the next one. Let me make sure there's no more sideboarding, though. I think we run it back with our 1 change of run afoul, though. Let's see how much my hubris will be punished here. If the magic gods are kind or wish to give me a little lesson. Well, this is a lesson indeed. Okay, we know what they're about. They can be pretty aggro. They've got the 2... Yeah, they're pretty aggro. Can we keep this, given how aggro we've seen them be? It's a decent hand if we can show me something. But they're on the play, playing 3 1s for 2. I just don't think we can keep this. Yeah, I like this a lot better. We're going to drop the run afoul and keep a curve out of Hobble Fiend into Truffle Snout with Primal Might at the ready. You wish it had a better pun in it. I think that's why it's called that, though. I think you got the joke. Interesting. Wall of Runes alongside 3/1s for 2 is not exactly ideal, but if they're just aggro skies tempo, that makes some sense. You know, you still want runes on D, I guess, but a little bit contradictory plans from Oppo here. Ugh, gotta beat the Radiant Fountain. I'm gonna go Visionary here and be happy to offer the Snout for the Charger, or the Fiend for the Charger if it comes to it. Nice. Haven't seen one of these in a while, it feels like. And actually, given that, and given the expected feat of resistance, let's see. Do we make them use their feat now so the salvo is more reliable when we resolve it, or do we save the power so that when we resolve the salvo, we can do it easily? I think we take it here. But this screams feat. I mean, we should expect feat of resistance. And not going to make the same mistake. Maybe they will. Like, if they have Lofty Denial, maybe they go for it, forgetting that our Visionary has mana capabilities. But I'm going to drop an Avenger first. Robert liked the trade. I don't, given the expectation of feat and the desire for salvo. Yeah, we got him! Got him! That's pretty good, but it doesn't stop our salvo from being amazing. In fact, we can go Visionary, Forest, Truffle Snout, salvo them off. You like gain 4? In this spot, I just like getting bigger. Hunter's Edge probably convinces them this one is done. I'm going to go for Truffle Snout so we have multiple creatures with 4 power. Hodge liked the Fiend, presumably because of the trample. I was doing it for the extra 4 power. But Oppo done with that nonsense. Well, I'm glad we 3-0'd with this deck, because it sure looked like one to me. I don't know how the par polling went exactly, but that was a great deck, and I'm not surprised we got max wins with it. Hodge says I'm not even playing my Garrick Uprising, but Hodge, we literally had a 4 Power Matters card in play. Like, literally in play. Alrighty. Nice. Now I can give you the legit profit meme. And apparently I was not punished for my hubris of early profit. Turns out Primal Might and Salvo are good cards indeed. You know, add that to the decks and claim this here prize. That Prophet meme, that was made by our friend Valhalla's Chosen, aka Brian. Haven't seen Brian around here in a while. If you're watching on YouTube, Brian, hey! Hope you can make it back and say hello sometime. Hope you're doing well. Anyway, Brian is a professional manipulator of pixels, and he's made us several memes that are pretty killer. If you're here, I'll give you the suite of Brian memes. Here's all the memes made by our professional digital graphic artist. We've got Chill.
All right, everyone, chill.
We've got the Prophet, which I just showed you, and we've got where is it? Thunder. Pocket Nebula wants to see the hair toss. Sure.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
And Robert, talking about the game, says, feet made you want to not block, feet made me want to block. So what was your thinking again? My thinking was that I didn't want to take power off the board when I was trying to get up to salvos. And that at 20 life, we could certainly take it to set up for sure salvo. Oh yeah, and that to finish up the what is that Prophet clip, the audio from that is from the Dave Chappelle show. Thank you, comrade. All right. Thank you for that sub, Scotty. Appreciate that. Let's hop to Soapbox, though, and wrap that one up with YouTube. Thanks for hanging out, YouTube. That was a good one. We found our lane, and it paid off big. And turns out removal rares are powerful. Who knew?